Right, folks, today we're going to go through some indoor plants. Now, many of you might be saying, yes, that's me, I kill them. So today I'm hopefully going to take away a lot of those reasons why you kill them and make sure that you've got glorious indoor plants that will last for a long time. I've got a beautiful collection here of some fantastic plants that you can find in your local garden centre now. And remember, with any plant, indoor plant that has a flower, like this bromeliad, like the Santhurium, it is not a permanent solution. The flower is not going to be there forever. You know, most of us say, well, how many weeks is this thing going to flower for? Well, guys, it's probably dependent on the plant, going to flower for 4 weeks, maybe 6. When it's finished flowering, it is over cadovers till next year. So you might then say, well, then why bother buying it? Well, the point is that for, say, $120, you're going to get something flowering in your home for 6 weeks. Now, that is quite awesome. Also, when you do buy your plants from your local garden centre, ask the right questions. For instance, if you're going to buy this guy, you need to ask what kind of light it needs and how much water should I be giving it. With an Anthurium, it can cope in very low light. Its flowers will last for about 6 weeks indoors. Then, when the flowers start dying off, you need to cut them back. The ideal thing once it's finished flowering is to take it, repot it into a bigger pot, put it into a shaded part of the garden, or maybe where you keep your other outside pot plants, and when they start flowering next season, you bring them in and away you go. You've got the gorgeous plant looking great again. So that's the Anthurium. Another firm favourite of mine are the bromeliads, and they are really looking fantastic and have kind of come back on the scene in a whole whiz, and I love that. They are so forgiving, can grow in really deep shade, as well as just a well-lit, but not full sun, folks. Full sun, this guy is going to burn up in no time. What other toughies can you plant? Peperomia. That's this beautiful guy. It's got these lovely little flecks of pink. Now, this guy's really tough. You'll notice it does have flowers, but the main aspect of this plant is the leaves. So when it's finished flowering, you cut these flowers back, and this type of plant will carry on in your home for years and years and years, as long as you feed it with some indoor plant food at least once a week or every second week, whatever the bottle says. This is also a cousin of the peperomia. Another peperomia, you can see it's got much broader leaves, tougher, and it just looks the part. So ideally, do we want just one plant in a pot in our home? Or maybe we should just take it a little bit further. And I want to show you a great way of being able to create an arrangement and kind of just cheating. It's a good thing to do, especially if it's coming up to holidays, if you're having a function at home. You can put all these plants in a beautiful container. When they finish flowering, you can then pop them out and do what I've just told you. Put them into the garden or put them into their resting bay. So let's do it. I want to do this combination: exotic, tropical, gorgeous. Kind of reminds me of a tropical island. So let's go. Anthurium, I want to put into the pot. Now, I've chosen just a really awesome decorative pot. With this, you don't need to worry about drainage, because you are going to be watering them and leaving them in their pots, because we're going to be just playing around and making a really, really awesome look. So I want 2 of these babies, just like that. Pop them in there. And then I'm going to use one of the bromeliads. So we want to angle this plant, just like that. Angle it, and then I've got my beautiful peperomia that I want to pop in here. And once again, it's the same thing, because you get to enjoy it from really looking at the leaves and the different textures. And then to fill up my space, I'm going to use one of these big boys, the tough cousin of the peperomia, and I'm going to pop him right in here. How easy was that? That was like 30 seconds flat. You've been able to create something truly spectacular, which you could have in your home. You can transport it anywhere, pick it up, move it around. But then you might be saying, well, what about all these gaps, Tanya? How am I going to deal with those? Well, here's the little magic thing. If you guys can get hold of this stuff at your local garden centre, and you find many, many different types of this. This is the sphagnum moss. You'll find some that's really bright green, some of it's even coloured. But basically any type of mulch that we're going to be using just to cover this and work from an aesthetic. I want to use this because it's going to emulate the fact that I'm wanting to create something really gorgeous and tropical. And remember, this is purely decorative. So we pop it around here so that you can't see any of the pots. We want to hide those. Once you've decided that you've had enough of this plant combination, you just take the moss out, put it back into your container, and when you get the urge to do another container like this, you can just recycle it. And there you have it, 1x instant container. Now folks, remember, you can do this with anything as long as they enjoy the same light. In terms of watering this guy, absolutely, very, very easy. You're going to just water the entire container. And remember, indoor plants, because they're in such small pots, like any plant, needs food. There are huge amounts that you can use and different varieties of indoor pot plant food. Whatever it is, just use it. Because like all plant foods, it's similar to diets. They all work, you just have to stick to it. So there we go, folks. 1x gorgeous, instant, beautiful indoor container. Have fun, be creative, and remember, you can always recycle these guys.